Hi there, my crafty friends. It's Ashley Pfeiffer, the maker behind Stamped AF. Here is another Creating for Christmas video. So this is a super cute and easy card. Took no time at all, and I'm going to make a different version of it for you today. This was using the Brightly Gleaming DSP, which is now on back order, and the So Many Stars using copper foil. And that, sorry about the glare, there's just no getting away from it with foil. And then I used Shine Bright for the back. So super cute. And let's get our craft on. So I've already gone ahead and cut the pieces that I needed just to keep this quick. This piece is 8.5 by 5.5. We're going to score it in a few different places. So I will bring in my new Stampin' Trimmer, and we just got the great news that this is available to customers as of November 1st, which is fantastic. I just realized I'm cutting up the score lines that I had, or the marks that I had written down. Okay, so we are going to score this at 2 inches. You know what, we're gonna, yeah, we'll score it on that side. 2 inches, 3 1/8, 5 3/8, and 6 1/2. And if you'll notice, this trimmer does extend as the last one did. It has these numbers engraved in here. So you know how before, if we had any measurements between 6 and 7, it was kind of sketchy. Well, now it's like engraved right in there, so it's not going away. Let's just fold and burnish these. We are going to have mountain and valley folds. So this one is a mountain. And this one is a valley. Mountain, valley. So this is both Creating for Christmas and, did I just do that backwards? This is both Creating for Christmas and Fancy Fold Friday. There we go. How easy is that? 5.5 by 8.5, score it 4 times, and you've got a super cute and adaptable fun fold card. For this, you need your matted pieces, which is the copper foil, which is 1 3/4 by 5, and 5 1/4, sorry. And then your DSP is 1 1/2 by 5. So I am going to figure out how I cut these. Now, when you're cutting your DSP, if you're using something that has a design, just remember that you need to cut. You can't just take your 1 1/2 pieces off wherever you want, because you want your picture to line up. This is kind of like a puzzle, right? So when you take your piece of DSP, which let me tell you is 4 3/4 basically by 5, you need to take out your middle section. Which is, I just realized, I don't think I have that written down. Your middle section is 1 3/4. So that's the same as your mats. But you need to take that out of your middle section. Now, I don't think anyone's going to be like, your trees don't line up here. They're just going to be, oh, it's so pretty. So we can glue these down now. Now, this doesn't actually get closed or anything, so you can do this part whenever you want. So this part is, this was just a scrap. So this is 2 1/4. We're going to trim it down to 2. And it is 5 1/4. So that kind of mats it properly. And this is where, you could also add pieces there, but this is where you're going to add your sentiment, and this is where you can write your greeting to the recipient, because we need to allow room for that. And this does fold flat. I haven't tried putting it in an envelope, but I'm sure it would. But with these kind of cards, it's always nice to hand deliver. So we are going to use that same Shine Bright for this. Should have done this before I had heard it. But I just love this star. Love it. And we're going to use Seaside Spray. That is the color of this cardstock. And I'm going to stamp it off once. And then just stamp it on there. Beautiful. And you can use any sentiment you like. The one that I used was the stars were brightly shining, but this isn't really, it's daytime, right? So you're not even gonna see the stars. So there's a beautiful sentiment in here that says Christmas begins with love. Anything from Itty Bitty Christmas will go well. Okay, we'll celebrate the season fit on there. We could do this lots of love at Christmas. We could really do anything. There we go. So there is the back done. Now we're going to focus on the front. So I went ahead and die cut some pieces. And this is the Frosted Foliage set. This is part of the Feels Like Frost bundle, or suite of products rather. So in the holiday catalog on pages 40 and 41, there is everything from this suite. And we are using that gorgeous DSP. We're using the frames and yeah, the DSP. This ribbon is on back order currently, but it will be coming soon. Looks like it's supposed to be back in stock next week, which is great. So there is that stamp set, and you could definitely use those snowflakes where we used that star up there. Hindsight, that would have been a good idea, right? But so I knew I wanted to use this frame, but I knew I also didn't want to cover up this beautiful image. This is a rather large die set, so that if I used a solid color of cardstock, that was all going to be covered. So I thought, let's do vellum. And let's do vellum again for that gorgeous stitched frame. So we can still see through there. And we are going to use Sending You a Little Yuletide Cheer. And we are going to heat emboss on this. So we need our embossing buddy. I'm going to use white embossing powder. I love the sparkly or the shimmery white, but I find that it's hard to read. So it's great if it's just like an accent or background, but for text, it can be difficult to read. Okay, so that fits just perfectly on there. I think this stamp was made to fit this die, or vice versa. If you get a little bit of stray powder, just brush it away. So that was done using the low setting on my heat tool. I let it warm up for 30 seconds or so. And I find when you use your low setting, you are less likely to get any warping on your vellum, which is always the goal, right? So now the only thing is we need to attach this without it being visible. So what I like to do is add an embellishment so that you can't tell where a glue dot or a little bit of glue is hiding. So we're just gonna bring in some champagne foil and do a couple of snowflakes. And this bundle happens to have 2 gorgeous snowflakes that we can use. So it coordinates with that frame. So we can add a little bit of Tombow in some inconspicuous places. So any part where there's maybe a little bit of a thicker line from the letters. Whoop. Glue didn't want to come out, and then it all came out. So I like to do some in the middle just so it doesn't kind of pop up. Try and get all 4 corners. So that ought to be enough for that. This actually is a very simple card. This video is taking longer than I expected it would. So now what we can do is get some glue dots. We're going to use them rolled up. Just put it on there. Let's have the bigger one at the top. Forgot to put anything down to keep it there. It's all great to put the embellishment down, but we need this. That was the whole point. There we go. And usually I would use a glue dot to adhere my vellum in a case like that. But Tombow works beautifully as long as you don't use too much. So again, we're going to kind of roll up that glue dot. Just plunk it in the middle. There we go. Now we can use glue dots to attach the entire piece. So you can still see the trees. You can't see them super easily, but that's okay. And that's it. We have a card that doesn't take very long. These actually wouldn't be too bad to mass produce. I don't know that I would use the frosted foliage dies every time, but not all of the DSP within this suite has these beautiful images that you would hate to cover. I mean, they all have photorealistic images, but some of them cover the entire sheet. This one, if we covered it, you would just see the 2 sides. I still wanted to be able to get that bit of pink that's in there. So that's all. You could add a little bit of shimmer spray if you want. You've got room to write your message there. And that's it. So I hope you enjoyed another Creating for Christmas video, and we have a couple weeks left. Somebody, some fun person on Facebook said that we're now down to single digits. There are only 9 Mondays left until Christmas, so yay. I don't know about you, but I am not ready. So let's keep this Creating for Christmas video series going, and hopefully you are creating cards along with me. And if you are, I would love to see them. You can tag me on Facebook or Instagram at StampedAF. And if you need any of the supplies to make this or any other card that I've made in my videos, just shop my online store. The link will be below. And again, this was the Frosted Foliage bundle, or the Feels Like Frost bundle. And that's all. We'll see you soon, my crafty friends. Bye.